So you've got employees and now you need an employee contract. Where do you start? What do you need to include? And how can I actually draw up a contract that will actually mean something and be productive? Ow! Scratching me. Right, am I ready? Okay. But what do I need to put into my contract to really make sure that my business is protected from employees and so they know what they can and cannot do? This is part one of a 4-part video series. We will cover the basics that you need in your employment contract. If you've never heard of me, I'm Ilse Whiteman, the cleaning coach, and this show was sponsored by the Customer Magnet System. And remember, at any point, if you want more customers in your business, please remember to download my free customer roadmap, which will run you through proven steps to get customers into your business. Remember to download it, the link will be below. Let's kick off with a video. So the first thing you need to cover in your contract is your probation period, so that your staff knows what happens in the first few months when they start with your company. So if you don't know what a probation period is, it's going to be the amount of time that your employee will be with your company in the beginning before they actually become like a full-time staff member or a part-time staff member. So it's up to you if you want to make that a month or 3 months or 6 months. Basically, it's the trial period where you're still trialing them out to see if they're a good fit for your company. But you have to state and you have to tell them that this is the probation period, this is how long it is, and this is what happens in the probation period. And then after that probation period is finished, I will call you in for a meeting into the office, and then we'll discuss if we are a good fit for each other. And this is also a very good time after the probation period is finished to discuss where they go from there, where they need to improve, where they need to maybe do it a little bit less if they're a little bit more of a perfectionist, but things that could come up that you can discuss to make them a better employee. And within that probation period, how much notice do they have to give you, the company owner, if they don't think you're a good fit? So you just have to state to them how long they have to give you notice for if they do. So say for instance they only work for a month, you're probably not going to need a week's notice. But if they actually have worked for your company for 6 months, you probably would want some notice. You just need to state in there how long the probation period is, what is going to happen in the probation period, the training, how it happens, how they get introduced to customers, and all these little things to do within what's going to happen in that period of time, how much notice they have to give you if they do decide that you're not a good fit, and also how much notice are you going to give them if you don't think they're a good fit. In the probation period, remember to mention that if you take payment in lieu, what will happen with a payment of lieu if they've only worked with you for, say, for instance, a month. Some companies don't offer that, and you will also include your payment in lieu in the actual payment section of your contract, how much they get paid and all that. We will discuss that a bit later. However, you just need to state in here what actually happens to that payment, if it's gross misconduct or they stole from a customer or they kept equipment from your company. That will affect their payment in lieu, and obviously you have the right as a company owner, if they do owe you any money or they don't bring your products back, that you can actually keep that payment in lieu. Otherwise, you will have to give it back to them. But just as long as they know how it works and what needs to happen. So point 2 is a little bit more obvious. Point 2 is the job title and job description. So yes, obviously when they first start, they will be a cleaner. But you have to make it clear that once they've actually completed the training, they will become a technician because they will be fully qualified in a certain sense. And I know a lot of people go, what do you mean a cleaner will be qualified? But you'll be certified. Basically, it is doing training which improves them. It will make them a better cleaner, which means they won't just be a cleaner. And some people actually prefer to be called a cleaning technician or a technician rather than a cleaner. So you have to state, obviously, what the job title is at the time when they come in and then review your contract. as they grow with your company. So say for instance, they come in your company and you pay them a little bit less to start off, but you make it very clear to them, like if you work out and you work really hard and you're an awesome employee, then I actually will put your money up after 3 or 6 months, whatever the case may be. By then they would have done the training, and then you can put their money slightly up, which means you can then call them a technician. So you're basically letting them climb the ladder, technically, without them actually realizing what you're doing, because you're actually rewarding them for a job well done. And then you need to include a job description with this part, because it's not just about you have to go to custom houses and clean. They have to take responsibility. They have to do it in a certain amount of time. They have to turn up a certain way. They have to look after your equipment. They have to be or use materials sparingly. They can't just use 3 bottles of bleach a day, say for instance. So you have to set out a proper job description for them so that they know exactly what the job entails. And a job description will also include, like, they have to go through your training and they have to follow your rules and regulations by the dot. And they need to sign that they agree that they will follow your company rules and regulations, because you know what works and you've set that rules and regulations up for a reason. So the job description has everything that they need to do on a daily basis. If they have to fill out a checklist, guess what? It needs to be in the job description. Like, you pay them, say for instance, £10 an hour. So that £10 an hour will include filling in the checklist. And if they don't fill in the checklist, it means they're not doing their jobs, because it's in the job description. They need to work within a certain amount of time. If you give them 2 hours to do a job, they need to complete that job in 2 hours. It's in the job description. So work out your cleaner or cleaner technician's job description and add it to your contract so they know exactly what's expected of them in that role. Make yourself a list of everything that you think a good employee has to be or has to do, and that will be your job description. So point 3 will be training. What training do you offer them? What can they expect during the training period? Who will be training them? How will it be done? And what's expected of them once the training is done. So remember, you just have to go through the whole step of how they're getting trained. What they do the first day, the second day, what's expected of them. What will be their responsibility, the ability to respond to your training once they've done the training. Remember to comment cleaning boss down below if you agree that you need to include these points into your contract to make sure that your staff knows what to do and what not to do to stop taking advantage of you. So the 4th point we'll cover today is salary. You have to state in there what salary they will be getting, how much they get paid, how much do they get taken off, how they get paid, when they get paid. So start with an hourly amount. So you will say to them, right, so you will get paid this much per hour. This is the amount of hours you'll be working for my business when you start off, because obviously they might come in as part-time and then go on to full-time. So this is what you will be paid. This is how many hours you actually will be working, or what I'm sort of giving to you, what you're agreeing to. Please try not to do, I know a lot of companies do, but if you ever say 0 contracted hours, basically you're not guaranteeing them work. They've got no reason to stay with your company. They'll just go and work for another cleaning company that actually gives them guaranteed work. Or obviously sometimes if they do more hours, you just say variable, but it will still be paid into this bank account, their bank account, on this day, say the 30th of every single month, apart from obviously February, which will be done a little bit earlier. So just make sure that they know exactly what day, so they don't text you 20 million times going, when do I get paid again? When do I get paid again? Is the money in again? Oh, is the money in already? I need the money. When did you say the money is going to be in? So it's just making sure they know exactly when they get paid, how much will be paid, and how much they get paid per hour, and making sure they know about the payment of lure. If you want to write your own domestic customer contract, remember to check out last week's 2 videos, part 1 and part 2, of what you should include in your domestic customer contract. So next week I will be covering part 2 of what you need to include in your employee contract, which will be holiday cover, sickness cover, working hours, and notification for illness. So we'll cover those 4 points in next week's video. Remember to subscribe, to give us a thumb up if you like this video, and press that bell if you want to be notified when next video comes up. That's it for this week, guys. I'll definitely see you next week, same place, same time.